Greeks. All right, all systems go. Okay, somebody's here. Come here. Come here. Come here. She's gonna come here anyway. Oh, you're such a pain. She'll be around and she'll run off. It's Priscilla. Here she is. There you go. Get your Yeah. Okay, all right. Go Planet of the Apes. Maybe I should channel the apes until my retirement. Channel connect to the gorilla people. You never know. And alien abduction energies. Of course, there's a lot of people like drama and can't seem to get out of that. So something different. Kind of running out of topics. So kind of burn through them all. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, she's going to keep coming and going. She's like I don't know, just like if she was a shopper, she'd be walking in and out of the store like crazy, like a four-legged parasaurine. Okay, this is Avatar.com at private sessions. Scheduler. Shop here. Actually, Priscilla is more like a Punky Brewster. So, like, wear different color shoes and hair is all crazy. Something like that. So, yeah, bubble gum in her hair. I can definitely see her with that. And again, she can jump anywhere practically. She definitely has the choreography for that. She could be in the Cirque du Soleil for cats. So, okay, all right, we're going to Planet of the Apes. So I tapped into their energies years ago. I don't do many ape connections, but yeah, the gorilla people, they think we have problems. So, of course, we're kind of like their descendants to some level. So yeah. So we'll see where that goes. And alien abduction energies, the zeta frequencies, just see what they have to say. I say that just the zeta perspective of it and move on from there. So, all right. That's all I got. All right, blessings. Here we go. Greens is the ape consciousness. I can say humanity doesn't necessarily believe in itself. It is believing in chaos. Well, it's letting others, of course, agendas rule their existence. And not all of humanity, but a majority is, you're allowing religion to rule the mind, literally rule the soul. As you can see, those that go to church, not all of them, but quite a few go there and literally give themselves away, just like that. And the alien religions are sometimes worse because there's just so many individuals who are not ready to take responsibility for themselves at all. They just feel there's no hope for their existence, and if they give themselves away, they might get further with that. Maybe someone else knows how to drive this car because they obviously do not want to take responsibility or ever want to figure it out, for that matter. So they do, for the most part, try to, keep up appearances within themselves. Sometimes, take care of themselves, wash themselves, whatever, go to work. But other than that, someone else can have their soul. So just take a look at that. That's majority of humanity at this point. And they're not at the phase of really taking more responsibility of themselves, where you would definitely have a different world. They let other people make them angry, to put them on agendas, political agendas, trying to get a hero like Trump or whatever it might be. And it's just because the human here does not think much of themselves, that you could see. Now, those of you that are evolving are bringing your energy back into yourself. Yeah, you might not have all the answers, but at least you're driving your car, your avatar, yourself, and then letting someone else do it. You might get maybe or the wrong direction here and there, and that's going to happen. But at least you're trying to steer your path. It's better than the rest of the public that doesn't even care. They're blindfolded. They just go by the school systems. They just easily just be programmed. Society can reject all of it. And of course, those of you that do reject it realize, oh, geez, I have to be part of this. So you have to like compromise to a certain level to exist here, to live, to, food and all of that, board. So you have to have some kind of less resistance to it. But, a freer world is one that lets go all of this. Of course, when humanity really starts to connect to itself, it's probably going to be more chaotic here. But you won't have to go to you don't have to go to a job anymore and have to deal with each other. You're already dealing with each other to a certain level. But yeah, usually it's the darker ones here. The grandparents or so. Not always them, but a lot of them, they might take until like 70 or 80 to finally figure themselves out, and then they become wicked. But at least they have themselves figured out to a certain level. So what we're getting at is as humanity starts to tap more into itself, yeah, it might not be so pretty. It's not pretty now. It can be easily worse. You won't have to go up and go to a job anymore. Now once again, you have to sort each other out, deal with each other. And in some purpose, in some ways, like rather just have the 9 to 5 job. Let's get these people out of my face. Just to give you a different perspective. Maybe that's better. They do have the 9 to 5 job and don't know themselves and stay out of our way. Enjoy your religion. Because when they start tapping themselves, it just drives everybody crazy. So just letting you know, yes, this program cannot last forever, but it's going to keep riding for now until humanity, will wake up to themselves. It's basically shutting down all manipulations and the conspiracy theory stuff, because as much as they think they have it all figured out, the most paranoid, we're not going into details, they're just so paranoid and arrogant at times, and just not exactly, friendly to be around. But then you're always going to run into that no matter what. And yes, there's psychotic spiritual people that some of them like, yeah, we're not going to go into the details of that either. Well, some of them have been, yeah, we're not going to go into details of that. But as for the gorilla connection or the apes in general, we're part of the human evolution, yes. Now, did you come from apes? That some have, not everybody, but some people have. Well, vice versa, apes came from you, and so on. But the human is pretty much an individual creation. But then again, you have hybridization and so on. Some want to get the ape perspective and then become a psychopath here. Of course, you can be also a very kind ape too, like the chimpanzees are just hilarious. Some of your comedians are chimpanzees. Some of them are gorillas too. I'm not going to tell the details of that. There's also gorillas that, so when you do hybridization programs, like a gorilla with bunny ears and cat eyes and all that, we get a different lens, a different perspective. And as the human, you kind of disguise all of that as you see. But usually the more aggressive people are the gorilla people here. And they can also have connections to Mars. And gorilla people are known to have a way of defeating your reptilian energies. Yeah, having a gorilla connection, gorilla brain, all that. Yeah, yes. You think the reptilians are aggressive? Well, the gorillas are connected to chaos. Now, it's not all chaos. There's a lot of it there. So yeah, you make your reptilians look like a walk in the park. You don't hear about it very often, probably for the best. But we do give reptilians a run for their money. As advanced as they think they are, as arrogant as they are, our numbers can definitely exceed theirs easily. They do have a lot of limitations, as much as they don't think so. That armor they have around them is not always to their advantage. Their exterior, of course, it comes with arrogance, but it comes with their DNA. Of course, gorilla people can be just as arrogant also, but sometimes the more arrogant you are, sometimes the more lethal you can become. But also the idea is to stay confident, and reptilians aren't always that way. They can be very powerful outside, but very stupid inside. Mentally. Gorillas, a lot of times, chimps, a lot of them are not out to cause any trouble, but when the gorilla beings, they're warriors basically. And they also bring their smarts. Not all of them are smart, of course, but we can bring our smarts. We can outsmart the reptilians. Of course, they might always disagree with that. But can it? So basically, kind of why we are here on your world, kind of, you can say to calm down the reptilian frequencies to fight them off. So something to think about. It is within your DNA. It's within everyone's DNA to a certain level. The ape, the chimpanzee, the whatever being you feel you're connected to. There's always some kind of ape DNA there, of some form. We have connections to serious. We have connections everywhere. So we'll just leave you with that. Greetings with Zetas. Send you energies. Yes, the human abduction programs that will continue on because it has to do with human evolution. Hybridization programs, yes, we might always agree upon it. Of course, so yes, the MyLab enters. That's more government. Governments usually intrude on society. Well, government's lost. They have to have some purpose. And they're part of basically causing challenges to your world. Like they're building the game board that you are living in. And so humanity is ready to snap out of it, which they're not. Of course, humanity does get seduced into it or subdued and put to sleep. And of course, you're here to wake up to some level. Oh, just use the terms that you use. But the idea is what the part of the abduction is to keep humans shut down, if you could say. But that's part of the agreement. And yes, you might have memories of Greys or any other alien beings to do this. Of course, there's also positive connections, not necessarily abductions. But abductions are really to, yes, take DNA or sometimes give DNA, as some of you have noticed, some kind of enhancements. So it's as alien energies, we are part of this also, and we don't even know. But the idea also is to assist your world to not fall into what the Zetas have been through, and also other alien life at the same time, because aliens get programmed just like you. And reptilians get programmed. Everyone gets some kind of agenda. There's always someone else, influencing them, and they're not always aware because you're feeling that too. You're being influenced by different beings. So are alien beings, no matter what fourth and fifth dimension they're in. There's always some kind of test, unless you're out of the reincarnation process altogether. Like when you're in the spirit realms, you can see things much clearly. But yes, you can't grow very fast. You can grow, but nowhere near as what you do with an incarnation. With an incarnation, yes, you put some kind of blinders on for you to figure things out. Of course, in the higher dimensions, you learn less, but you're still learning. But at least you're part of the game of reality of non-physical and physical experiences. Yeah, because there's spirit realms, like you go into a complete neutral realm. Not every being there is neutral, though. There is still a lot of judgment there, even if it's, especially after incarnation, that's difficult, especially a world like this. But either way, the spirit realms understand where that judgment's coming from. But for the induction frequencies, not that we're trying to sugarcoat it, but once again, we're all part of this physical experience in some form or another. So this is how aliens live your physical experience. But of course, we have a form of physicality in our dimension also. We have a way of not being seen in your world. And there's a lot of observers, a lot of alien groups. Reptilians are, you can say, trying to get themselves out of their own mess they've made for themselves through wars, because they're used by other beings, by the Orion groups, by even the Martians. They're programmed just as you are, just in different ways. So, and there's always going to be some kind of galactic conflict in some form or another. You don't have to focus too much on it. Just, well, if it comes to you naturally, there's a reason for it. Some of you are healing your family lines, their families. A lot of times, think like families being hijacked from the lower dimensions. Like, your grandmother, your grandpa, your aunt, uncles, but some of them have been hijacked in some form or another. And they're to target you in your incarnation. So yes, even possessed and so on. So there's sometimes fragments of the person that you used to know or you do know, but yeah, there's a dark agendas there, of course, just to shut. Yes, this is a game. This is a, however you want to word it. It's the reincarnation game here in the physical, of course. When you're in the physicality, at your level, it's hard to see the spirit realms completely, but you can't activate that. But when you do that, it's hard to be, it's good to be away from most physical people, because you're not going to operate on the same level as they are, as some of you know already. Obviously, if you need a job, and if you can operate to non-physical and the physical, like having a normal job, but also having isolation, you wonder why so many of you as spiritually developing need the isolation, or in the isolation for some reason or another. It's like, why don't I have other people? Well, because the idea is to focus more on yourself as you do this more spiritual development. This is how your spiritual development enhances. You don't have to be alone forever, but there's certain periods of time that's necessary. So you are like unconsciously working on yourself to build you to the power being you're here to be. And when you have too many distractions here physically, like friends, and you have a family member calling you constantly. I mean, it's like one thing, you have a family, kids, and all that. It's hard to really tap into yourself. Not everyone's the same. Some are already tapped in, but it depends on how deep you're going to go into yourself. So it's why so many people don't have spouses, relationships, is because you're on it's spiritual warfare, you can say. It's just ideas to bring a new frequency here. So you don't have to be trapped here, and the idea is for others not to be trapped here. You're basically part of the future Earth, you can say. You don't have to call it the new Earth. It's like a label. But you have to put some kind of title with it. But the idea is for you to, for humanity to connect more galactically. And of course, you're always going to have beings being hijacked and all that. That's part of this process. There's never an easy. When you go from physical to non-physical, or physical to less physical, which you are working towards, some of you are fourth dimensional, and some of you do make yourselves invisible, where you can't be seen by others too well. Those of you that don't feel like you need to be talking with others, like you might be quiet, it's because, well, first off, they're part of it. Humanity, as you know, well, those of you can kind of do the jingle in society, like small talk, but sometimes you feel agendas, like sometimes the work environment, you just want nothing to do with it. Like, you just be the outsider, just be the quiet person. Not that I say you're quiet, but it's like, this is not your game. Like an observer, I mean, yes, you might want to say something, you feel like you can't, is because you're not part of their mindsets. You're kind of an outsider. And especially if you say something outside their program, they might not know how to respond. You can literally take people out of their program. And are they ready? Just by saying a single word, Some of you probably know that. But it just even just talking about your own spiritual development, just using that for example, it doesn't have to be that, but it could be something like it. Like a truth bomb you can say about yourself, whatever it might be, spirit guides, so on, whatever it is. But it doesn't have to be that either. You just said, yeah, so it's your personality, your strange personality. Just say what you really want to say. You can really derail people that are in the normalcy timeline mentality. And it can really kind of mess them up. Because there's you almost scramble the way they look at things, and now they can't look at life ever, and they're not always meant to be awakened. So you wonder why some of you are quiet for a reason. It's I can talk to people, and it doesn't have to be about spirituality either. It can just be just whatever. But sometimes it's better because you're unprogramming their program. And like I said, they're not ready to be released from this system yet. So I give you some insight there.